Welcome to AgeWise. Have you ever looked at your garden and thought, I wish I could make it a little more interesting without all the hard work? I know I have. Sometimes the idea of big gardening projects feels like too much, especially when you just want to enjoy your space without spending hours digging and lifting. But here's the thing. Gardening doesn't have to be complicated or exhausting. It can be fun, creative, and surprisingly easy. If you're like me and love the idea of adding something special to your garden without the heavy lifting, you're going to love what I have for you today. I'm about to share some of my favorite easy DIY garden projects that are perfect for adding a personal touch without all the extra effort. These ideas are simple, enjoyable, and totally doable. So stick around, because together we're going to turn your garden into a space that's not just beautiful, but truly yours. Hack number 1, raised bed gardening. Let me tell you, raised bed gardening completely transformed how I enjoy my time outdoors. If you are like me and sometimes find that bending over or kneeling for hours just isn't as easy as it used to be, raised beds are a total game changer. They bring your garden right up to you, making everything, from planting to harvesting, so much more comfortable. No more aching backs or sore knees. Plus, they add a neat, organized look to any space that I absolutely love. The best part is that you don't need a fancy setup or a big budget. I started with a few simple wooden planks and some basic tools. If you want something even easier, there are ready-made kits that snap together in no time. For those who like a bit of creativity, you can repurpose old wooden crates or metal troughs. The key is to keep it at a height that's comfortable for you, so you can enjoy working in the garden without the strain. Now, let's talk about what you can grow. If you love flowers, try planting marigolds, petunias, or pansies. They add vibrant colors and attract butterflies, which makes your garden feel alive. For herbs, I recommend basil, thyme, and rosemary. They're not only easy to grow, but also great for adding fresh flavor to your meals. If vegetables are more your style, lettuce, spinach, and cherry tomatoes thrive in raised beds and are perfect for quick salads right from the garden. Here's a little tip that I learned after some trial and error. Line the bottom of your raised bed with a layer of cardboard or newspaper before adding soil. This simple step helps keep weeds from creeping up and makes maintenance a breeze. Speaking of soil, don't skimp on quality. A mix of garden soil, compost, and peat moss works wonders and gives your plants the nutrients they need to flourish. Another trick I swear by is adding a drip irrigation system. It sounds complicated, but it's actually pretty simple to set up and saves a ton of time. Your plants get consistent moisture without you having to haul out the hose every day. And trust me, your plants will thank you for it with lush growth and vibrant blooms. If you want to get a little fancy, try adding trellises at the back of your raised beds for climbing plants like peas, beans, or even cucumbers. They not only look stunning, but also make harvesting easier since everything grows at a convenient height. What I love most about raised bed gardening is how it puts you in control. You choose the soil, manage the water, and keep pests and weeds in check more easily. Plus, everything grows faster because the soil warms up earlier in the season compared to traditional gardens. It's efficient, beautiful, and perfect for anyone who wants to spend more time enjoying their garden and less time working in it. Stick around because the next project is even simpler and just as rewarding. I promise. You'll want to try it out as soon as you hear it. Hack number 2, container gardening. Container gardening has to be one of the most rewarding and flexible ways to grow a beautiful garden. If you are like me and enjoy the idea of moving plants around or having a garden that doesn't tie you down to one space, you are going to love this. The beauty of container gardening is that it works for any space, whether you have a large backyard, a small patio, or just a sunny windowsill. Plus, it is incredibly easy to manage, especially if bending and digging in the ground isn't quite as appealing as it used to be. Let's talk about the possibilities. You can grow just about anything in containers. For flowers, think about geraniums, begonias, and pansies. They add bursts of color and are easy to care for. If you love cooking, herbs like mint, oregano, parsley, and basil thrive in pots and provide fresh flavors right at your fingertips. Imagine stepping outside and picking fresh basil for your pasta or mint for your tea. It feels like a little luxury every single time. If you are thinking about vegetables, you are in luck. Tomatoes, peppers, and lettuce do exceptionally well in containers. Cherry tomatoes in a pot can produce a surprisingly large harvest. And there's nothing quite like the taste of a freshly picked tomato, still warm from the sun. Strawberries are another favorite of mine. They don't take up much space, and the reward of sweet berries is well worth the minimal effort. Here's a tip I always share. Make sure your containers have good drainage. Plants don't like soggy roots, so pots with drainage holes are a must. If you find a pot you love but it doesn't have holes, you can drill some yourself. Adding a layer of small rocks or broken terracotta pieces at the bottom also helps with drainage. For soil, use a high-quality potting mix rather than garden soil. Potting mix is lighter, drains better, and provides the nutrients container plants need to thrive. Placement matters too. Most flowering plants and vegetables like tomatoes need plenty of sun, at least 6 hours a day. If you have a spot that only gets partial shade, try growing leafy greens like spinach and lettuce, which don't mind a bit of cool shade. Herbs like chives and cilantro can also handle less sun. One of my favorite things about container gardening is how creative you can get with it. Use colorful pots to brighten up a dull corner or mix different plants in one large container for a lush, layered look. Imagine a pot with tall, ornamental grass in the center, colorful petunias spilling over the sides, and fragrant herbs filling in the gaps. It is like creating a living piece of art. If you want to save time and water, consider grouping your containers together. Not only does it make watering more efficient, but it also creates a stunning visual display. A cluster of pots in varying sizes and colors can transform even the smallest space into a vibrant garden retreat. For those who like a little less lifting, there are lightweight pots made from resin or fiberglass that look just like ceramic or stone. They are easy to move around, and you can rearrange your garden as often as you like without breaking a sweat. Another trick that has worked wonders for me is using self-watering containers. These pots have a reservoir at the bottom that holds extra water, which the plant's roots draw up as needed. It is perfect for hot summer days or when you might forget to water for a few days. Container gardening is all about flexibility and creativity. You can start small with just a few pots and expand as you get more comfortable. The best part is that it is all on your terms. Move plants around to catch the sun, bring them indoors when it gets too cold, or rearrange them whenever you feel like a change. Up next, I have another project that adds height and charm to your garden and works perfectly alongside container gardening. Trust me, you will want to try this one too. Hack number 3, vertical gardening. Vertical gardening has become one of my absolute favorite ways to add personality and beauty to a garden without taking up much space. If you are like me and want to make the most of your outdoor area without all the bending and digging, this project is perfect. Vertical gardens are easy on the back and knees, plus they turn any dull wall or fence into a living masterpiece. The best part is you don't need a large space. Vertical gardening works beautifully in small patios, balconies, or even along a sunny kitchen wall. It adds height, texture, and color, making your garden feel lush and full without taking up precious ground space, and the creative possibilities are endless. Let's talk about what you can grow. If you are into flowers, climbing plants like clematis, morning glories, and jasmine add vibrant color and fragrance. These plants naturally climb trellises or arbors, and watching them bloom is so rewarding. For herbs, think about thyme, oregano, and sage. These are not only easy to grow, but also perfect for snipping fresh when you need them for cooking. If you prefer vegetables, peas, cherry tomatoes, and pole beans are excellent options. They climb naturally and are easy to harvest at eye level. Now, here's a trick I use all the time. Repurpose everyday items. An old ladder leaned against a wall makes a perfect plant stand. Attach small pots to the rungs, and you have a beautiful tiered garden. Hanging shoe organizers are another creative solution. Just fill the pockets with soil and herbs, hang it on a fence, and you have a vertical herb garden ready to grow. Pallet gardens are another great option. You can often find wooden pallets for free, and they make a great structure for vertical planting. Sand the wood, add some landscape fabric to hold soil, and plant away. It's simple, affordable, and looks fantastic. If you prefer a more polished look, consider wall planters. These come in all shapes and sizes and can hold everything from small succulents to larger flowering plants. Mixing different plants and colors in a wall planter can turn a boring wall into a stunning focal point. A few tips will make your vertical garden a success. First, choose lightweight soil and plants. This reduces the weight on your wall or structure and makes everything easier to manage. Next, make sure there's proper drainage. You don't want water pooling at the bottom and damaging your plants. Finally, water consistently. Vertical gardens can dry out faster than traditional gardens, so a drip irrigation system or self-watering pots can be a lifesaver. Another thing I love about vertical gardening is how it can create privacy. If you have a small backyard or balcony, a vertical garden can serve as a beautiful living screen. Growing tall plants like bamboo or adding hanging vines gives you a natural barrier that looks much better than any fence or wall. For those who enjoy a splash of creativity, you can add decorative touches like fairy lights or small wind chimes to your vertical garden. This turns your garden into a magical spot, especially in the evening. Vertical gardening isn't just practical. It's a beautiful way to express your creativity and turn any space into a thriving green haven. The best part is that everything grows at eye level, making it easy to tend and enjoy. Coming up next, I have another project that adds beauty and purpose to your garden. It is simple, fun, and something I always recommend to anyone looking to make their garden feel complete. Hack number 4, herb gardens. If you are like me and love the idea of having fresh ingredients right at your fingertips, then you are going to adore creating your own herb garden. There is something incredibly satisfying about snipping fresh herbs to add flavor to your meals. Plus, herb gardens are easy to manage, smell amazing, and add beautiful greenery to any space. The best thing about herb gardens is how flexible they are. You don't need a large garden or complicated setups. A few pots on a windowsill, a small raised bed, or even hanging baskets will do the trick. Herbs are low maintenance, grow quickly, and provide continuous harvests when you care for them properly. Let's talk about which herbs are perfect to grow. Basil is an absolute favorite of mine. It loves warm weather and pairs perfectly with tomatoes. Mint is another must-have. It grows quickly, so keeping it in a container helps control its spread, and it's perfect for teas or refreshing summer drinks. If you enjoy cooking, you'll love having thyme, oregano, and rosemary nearby. These herbs are hardy, need little water, and thrive in sunny spots. Parsley and chives are also easy to grow and add a fresh touch to so many dishes. One thing I've learned is that herbs do best when they have good drainage. Make sure to use pots with drainage holes and add a layer of small stones at the bottom before filling them with soil. A high-quality potting mix designed for herbs or vegetables works best, giving the plants all the nutrients they need without retaining too much moisture. Sunlight is essential for most herbs. Ideally, they should get at least 6 hours of sunlight a day. If you have a sunny windowsill, that's perfect. For outdoor spaces, a spot that gets morning sun and afternoon shade works well, especially in warmer climates. Herbs like cilantro and parsley don't mind partial shade, so you can mix and match depending on your available light. Here's a trick I always recommend. Harvest your herbs regularly. It might sound obvious, but cutting them often encourages the plants to grow fuller and bushier. Basil, for example, loves to be trimmed. The more you cut it, the more it grows. Just make sure to snip above a leaf node, and you'll see new shoots appearing in no time. If you want to get creative, try mixing herbs with flowers in your containers. Marigolds, for example, not only add color, but also help keep pests away. Lavender pairs beautifully with rosemary, both adding fragrance and attracting pollinators like bees. The combination of scents and colors makes your herb garden not only functional, but also visually stunning. Another idea I love is creating themed herb gardens. For instance, a pizza garden with basil, oregano, and thyme, or a tea garden with mint, chamomile, and lemon balm. It adds a fun twist and gives you exactly what you need for your favorite recipes or drinks. Watering is simple with herbs. Most prefer to dry out a bit between waterings, so only water when the top inch of soil feels dry. Be careful not to overwater, especially with herbs like rosemary and thyme that prefer drier conditions. A watering can with a narrow spout helps direct the water right where it's needed without splashing the leaves. If you are feeling adventurous, try drying your herbs at the end of the season. Simply tie small bunches together and hang them upside down in a dry, well-ventilated space. You'll have your own dried herbs ready for use during the colder months, and the aroma while they dry is incredible. Herb gardens are more than just practical. They add life, scent, and beauty to any space, big or small. Plus, there is something so rewarding about cooking with ingredients you grew yourself. Next up, I'm going to share a project that brings nature right to your doorstep and adds a sense of life and movement to your garden. It is one of my personal favorites, and I know you're going to love it too. Hack number 5, bird feeders and bird baths. There's something magical about watching birds visit your garden. Their songs, their movement, and the way they bring life to a space. It all creates a peaceful atmosphere that makes spending time outdoors even more enjoyable. If you're like me and love a garden that feels alive and connected to nature, adding a bird feeder and bird bath is a must. It's simple, rewarding, and brings daily joy with minimal effort. The best part is you don't need to be an expert to attract birds to your garden. A basic bird feeder and a small bird bath can turn any outdoor space into a popular spot for your feathered friends. Plus, it's a fun way to observe nature without leaving your home. Let's start with the bird feeders. There are so many options, but I always recommend starting simple. Tube feeders are great for small birds like finches and sparrows. Platform feeders attract a wider variety of birds, including cardinals and blue jays. Suet feeders are perfect for woodpeckers, especially in cooler months. The type of seed you use also matters. Black oil sunflower seeds attract many different birds, while Niger seeds are favorites for finches. If you enjoy a little DIY, try making your own bird feeder. One of my favorite projects involves using pine cones. Simply cover them in peanut butter and roll them in birdseed. Hang them from tree branches with twine. It's a quick, easy, and fun way to add charm to your garden while attracting birds at the same time. Now, let's talk about bird baths. Birds need fresh water for drinking and bathing. Adding a bird bath not only provides them with what they need, but also brings more activity and life to your garden. You don't have to buy an expensive one. Large plant saucers placed on top of overturned flower pots make great bird baths. Just make sure the water isn't too deep. 1 to 2 inches is perfect for most small birds. Here's a little tip. Place your bird bath in a shady spot if possible. This helps keep the water cool and fresh for longer. Adding a few small stones in the water gives birds a place to perch while they drink or bathe. And don't forget to clean the bath regularly. Birds prefer fresh, clean water, and it helps keep them healthy. If you want to make your garden even more welcoming, add some plants that birds love. Sunflowers, coneflowers, and berry-producing shrubs not only add beauty to your space, but also provide natural food sources for birds. Watching birds snack on seeds or berries you grew yourself adds another layer of satisfaction to your garden. I also love adding a small fountain or a dripper to my bird bath. The sound and movement of water attract even more birds. Plus, the gentle trickling sound creates a relaxing atmosphere that I can enjoy while sipping coffee or reading a book outdoors. Creating a bird-friendly garden isn't just rewarding, it's also beneficial for the ecosystem. Birds help control pests, pollinate plants, and spread seeds. Plus, there's something special about knowing that you've created a safe haven where they can rest, drink, and feed. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What birds do you see most often in your garden? Have you tried any DIY bird feeders or baths? Share your stories in the comments. I always enjoy hearing how others connect with nature. If you're enjoying these garden ideas, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more tips that make gardening fun and easy. Your support means the world and keeps this community growing. Stick around, because the next project is perfect for anyone who loves a beautiful garden without the stress of daily care. You won't want to miss it. Hack number 6. Succulent gardens. Succulent gardens are one of the easiest and most rewarding projects you can add to any outdoor or indoor space. These plants are perfect for anyone who loves a beautiful garden without the hassle of constant maintenance. Succulents come in a wide variety of shapes, colors, and textures, making them ideal for creating stunning displays that stand out. What makes succulents so appealing is how little they demand. They thrive on neglect, needing only a sunny spot and minimal watering. Succulents like AgeWise, aloe vera, jade plants, and hens and chicks are fantastic choices. Their thick, fleshy leaves store water, which means they can handle dry spells without issue. For those who prefer hanging plants, string of pearls and burro's tail add a unique touch with their trailing forms. Arranging a succulent garden is a creative process. Grouping succulents with varying heights and colors in a shallow container can create a beautiful layered effect. Adding small decorative stones, pebbles, or driftwood pieces brings extra charm and texture. For outdoor spaces, succulents look stunning in rock gardens or as borders along walkways. They provide visual interest year-round without requiring much attention. Choosing the right soil is essential. Succulents need well-draining soil to prevent root rot. A cactus or succulent-specific potting mix works best. Adding a layer of sand or gravel at the bottom of containers helps drainage, keeping roots healthy. Watering succulents is simple. Only water when the soil is completely dry, which might mean once every 2 or 3 weeks, depending on the weather. Overwatering is the biggest mistake with succulents, so it's always better to underwater than to overdo it. Placing succulents in bright, indirect sunlight keeps them vibrant and healthy. Most succulents need around 6 hours of sunlight a day. However, harsh afternoon sun can burn some varieties, so morning sunlight or filtered light is ideal. Rotating containers every few weeks ensures even growth. For a creative twist, try making a vertical succulent garden. Mount a frame filled with soil and wire mesh and plant small succulents throughout. Over time, they fill in the gaps, creating a living picture. Another unique idea is planting succulents in unexpected containers like teacups, old boots, or hollowed-out logs for a quirky and personal touch. Succulents also make great indoor plants. Placing a small arrangement on a kitchen windowsill or as a dining table centerpiece brings nature inside with minimal effort. Indoors, they prefer bright spots, but can adapt to lower light conditions, though growth might slow. Propagation is another enjoyable aspect of succulents. Many varieties grow easily from leaves or cuttings. Simply remove a healthy leaf, let it dry for a few days, and place it on top of well-draining soil. Over time, roots form and new plants emerge. It's a fun way to expand your collection or share plants with friends. Succulent gardens offer the perfect balance of beauty and simplicity. Their sculptural forms, wide variety of colors, and easy care nature make them an excellent addition to any garden. Whether placed indoors in decorative pots or arranged outdoors among stones and gravel, succulents provide year-round interest with very little upkeep. Hack number 7, DIY garden markers. DIY garden markers are a fun and creative way to add a personal touch to any garden. They help keep everything organized, especially when growing a variety of herbs, vegetables, and flowers. There's nothing more frustrating than forgetting where you planted something, and garden markers solve that problem while adding charm and character to the space. The beauty of this project lies in its simplicity. Garden markers can be made from almost anything, which means you can get as creative as you like. Painted stones, wooden spoons, popsicle sticks, broken terracotta pots, and even old silverware can all be transformed into unique labels for your plants. Each material brings its own personality to the garden, turning practical markers into decorative pieces. Stones work particularly well. Smooth, flat stones can be painted with the names of plants using weather-resistant paint. For a rustic look, use a permanent marker directly on the stone. Arranging them at the base of plants adds a natural yet colorful touch. Wooden spoons are another favorite. Painting the handles with bright colors and writing the plant names on the spoon heads makes them easy to spot and adds a playful element to any garden bed. Popsicle sticks and wooden craft sticks are perfect for smaller plants or herb gardens. They're easy to write on and can be decorated with paint, patterns, or stickers. For a more elegant option, repurpose old silverware. Flatten forks and spoons and stamp the names of herbs or vegetables onto them. The reflective surface adds a touch of sophistication, and they stand up well to the elements. Broken pieces of terracotta pots also make beautiful markers. Writing on the curved surface with a permanent marker or paint creates a rustic effect that fits perfectly in any garden setting. This is a great way to reuse materials that might otherwise go to waste. Small chalkboards or slate pieces can be hung from plant supports, offering a farmhouse-style charm. They can be wiped clean and reused every season, making them practical and sustainable. Sealing garden markers is important, especially for those exposed to rain and sun. A clear, weatherproof sealant spray will keep colors vibrant and prevent fading. Using outdoor paints and waterproof markers also ensures the labels stay clear and legible throughout the growing season. For those who enjoy crafts, adding decorative touches like beads, ribbons, or small charms can make garden markers stand out even more. Grouping similar designs together in sections of the garden creates a cohesive look while maintaining a sense of creativity. Garden markers aren't just useful for labeling. They can also serve as reminders of planting dates or care instructions. Writing short notes on the back of markers, such as watering needs or harvest times, adds an extra layer of practicality. Creating DIY garden markers is a relaxing and rewarding project that brings personality and order to any garden. It allows for self-expression and provides a sense of accomplishment. Plus, it makes gardening easier by keeping everything organized and accessible. Markers also make wonderful conversation starters. Visitors will admire the unique designs, and they offer an opportunity to share stories about the plants you've chosen. This simple project combines creativity with functionality, adding both beauty and purpose to your gardening space. Hack number 8. Fairy gardens. Fairy gardens are one of the most delightful and whimsical projects you can add to a garden. They bring a sense of magic and creativity to any outdoor or indoor space. If you enjoy adding personal touches and creating small, enchanting worlds, a fairy garden will quickly become a favorite. The beauty of a fairy garden lies in the details. These miniature landscapes can be designed in pots, raised beds, or even tucked into quiet corners of a larger garden. They are perfect for adding charm without taking up much space and are easy to care for once set up. Fairy gardens allow for endless creativity. They become tiny sanctuaries filled with imagination and personality. Starting a fairy garden is simple. First, choose a container or location. Large terracotta pots, wooden crates, or shallow bowls work beautifully. For outdoor spaces, a section of a flower bed can be transformed into a magical scene. It's all about creating a small, inviting space where the tiny details come together. Selecting the right plants is essential. Small plants like moss, baby's tears, and creeping thyme create the perfect ground cover. Miniature succulents, such as hens and chicks, echeveria, or sedum, add texture and require minimal care. Dwarf plants like miniature roses, tiny ferns, or bonsai trees bring height and structure without overwhelming the space. Paths made of small pebbles or fine gravel guide the eye through the garden. Tiny fences, arched bridges, or miniature stepping stones add charm and create a sense of discovery. These elements make the space feel like a tiny, magical world hidden within your garden. Fairy houses are the heart of these gardens. Small cottages made of wood, stone, or even repurposed materials like teapots or birdhouses become focal points. Adding miniature doors to the base of a tree trunk gives the illusion that fairies live just inside. These details bring the entire scene to life and spark the imagination. Accessories add personality. Tiny benches, swings hanging from twigs, or small gazing balls made from marbles create areas where you can imagine fairies might gather. Little garden tools, watering cans, or wheelbarrows complete the scene, making the space feel lived in and cared for. Lighting takes a fairy garden to the next level. Small solar-powered lights or string lights can be woven through plants, adding a magical glow as evening falls. Candlelit lanterns placed around the edges create a warm, inviting atmosphere. The soft lighting transforms the garden at night, making it feel even more enchanting. Water features like small fountains or shallow pools add movement and sound. A simple bowl of water surrounded by stones can serve as a fairy pond. Add in a tiny boat or lily pad enhances the effect. The sound of water brings tranquility and completes the magical atmosphere. Personal touches make each fairy garden unique. Adding tiny signs with welcoming messages, miniature animals, or even small figurines representing fairies or gnomes brings a playful and inviting feel. These details reflect personality and create stories within the space. Caring for a fairy garden is easy. Most miniature plants require little maintenance beyond occasional watering and trimming. Succulents and moss thrive with minimal attention. Refreshing the layout or adding new accessories keeps the space interesting and engaging. Fairy gardens are perfect for all ages. They encourage creativity and provide a relaxing activity that can be done alone or with family. They bring joy and wonder to any space, offering a quiet place to reflect and imagine. Adding a fairy garden is more than a decorative touch. It creates a miniature escape filled with charm and magic. Every detail, from the tiny pathways to the glowing lights, adds to the sense of wonder. It's a garden within a garden, offering beauty, creativity, and a reminder of the magic that can be found in everyday moments. Hack number 9, sensory gardens. Sensory gardens are a beautiful way to create a space that engages all the senses. These gardens aren't just about how plants look. They focus on how they smell, feel, sound, and even taste. They provide a calming, immersive experience and can be enjoyed by everyone. If you enjoy spending time outdoors and want a garden that soothes and stimulates at the same time, a sensory garden is the perfect project. What makes sensory gardens so special is how they encourage you to slow down and truly enjoy your surroundings. Every element is chosen to engage the senses: the scent of blooming flowers, the texture of soft leaves, the sound of rustling grasses, and the sight of vibrant colors all come together to create a peaceful, therapeutic space. Choosing the right plants is essential. For fragrance, lavender, rosemary, and jasmine are perfect additions. Their scents not only add to the atmosphere, but also help reduce stress. Planting them along pathways or near seating areas allows you to enjoy their aroma with every breeze. Touch is another important part of a sensory garden. Lamb's ear, with its soft, velvety leaves, is irresistible to touch. Ornamental grasses like fountain grass add texture and movement, brushing gently against your skin as you walk past. Succulents such as echeveria and aloe vera provide interesting textures with their thick, fleshy leaves. For sound, bamboo and tall grasses create soothing whispers when the wind blows. Adding a small water feature, like a fountain or a bubbling stream, brings gentle, relaxing sounds that enhance the calming effect of the space. The soft trickle of water becomes a peaceful backdrop, making the garden a perfect place to unwind. Color plays a big role in engaging sight. Bright flowers like marigolds, zinnias, and sunflowers bring energy and vibrancy. Cooler tones such as lavender, sage, and pale blue flowers create a calming, restful atmosphere. Mixing these colors thoughtfully provides visual variety while maintaining a cohesive look. Taste can also be included with edible plants. Herbs like mint, basil, and thyme add flavor to meals and drinks. Strawberries, cherry tomatoes, and blueberries not only look beautiful, but also provide fresh snacks straight from the garden. The experience of picking and tasting these fruits adds another layer of enjoyment. Scented pathways add a unique touch. Plant creeping thyme or chamomile between stepping stones. As you walk, the plants release their fragrance, making every step part of the sensory experience. These low-growing plants also add softness and color, blending seamlessly with the garden design. Including seating areas allows time to sit and soak in the surroundings. A simple bench surrounded by fragrant flowers or positioned near a water feature becomes a peaceful retreat. Adding wind chimes brings soft, melodic sounds that complete the relaxing atmosphere. A well-designed sensory garden also considers seasonal changes. Spring bulbs like daffodils and tulips provide early color and fragrance. Summer flowers and herbs keep the garden vibrant and engaging. In autumn, ornamental grasses and late-blooming flowers extend the season's beauty. Winter interest can be provided by evergreen plants, textured bark, and hardy herbs like rosemary. Lighting adds another dimension, especially for evening enjoyment. Soft solar lights along pathways and around seating areas create a warm glow. String lights in trees or along fences add a magical touch, making the garden inviting even after the sun goes down. Maintaining a sensory garden is simple with thoughtful planning. Grouping plants with similar needs together makes watering and care easier. Using mulch helps retain moisture, reduces weeds, and adds texture to garden beds. Regular trimming keeps plants healthy and encourages continuous blooms. Sensory gardens offer more than beauty. They provide a space that nourishes the mind and body. The combination of scents, textures, sounds, and colors creates a peaceful retreat that promotes relaxation and well-being. These gardens are perfect for anyone who values a calm, engaging outdoor space designed to be enjoyed with all the senses. Hack number 10. Garden crafts. Aluminum foil. Sun catchers. Aluminum foil sun catchers are a simple yet stunning addition to any garden. They catch the light beautifully, creating sparkling reflections that dance across your outdoor space. If you enjoy adding personal, creative touches to your garden, This project is perfect. It combines art and nature, bringing extra charm without requiring much effort or expensive materials. What makes aluminum foil sun catchers so appealing is how easy they are to create. With just a few basic materials, you can design pieces that brighten your garden and catch the sunlight throughout the day. They work well hanging from tree branches, garden hooks, or pergolas. As they sway in the breeze, the shimmering reflections add a touch of magic that feels both calming and uplifting. To start, gather aluminum foil, wire, beads, and a frame. Old embroidery hoops work well, or you can shape wire into circular or abstract frames. The frame provides structure, while the aluminum foil creates the reflective surface. Wrapping the foil around the frame or shaping it into creative designs gives you endless options for customization. Adding beads brings extra sparkle and color. Choose beads that catch the light. Glass or crystal beads work especially well. String them on fishing line or wire and attach them to the frame. As the sun moves, the beads glimmer and shift, adding movement and texture. Small bells or wind chimes can also be added for a gentle musical effect when the wind blows. Shaping the foil allows for unique designs. You can create stars, hearts, or abstract shapes by folding, twisting, or cutting the foil. Crumpling the foil slightly before flattening it gives the surface extra texture, which catches the sunlight in interesting ways. For a polished look, smooth the foil completely and layer it for a more reflective finish. Paint is another way to personalize sun catchers. Metallic or stained glass effect paints can be used on top of the foil to add color without losing the reflective quality. Creating patterns or blending colors gives the sun catchers a stained glass appearance, adding even more visual interest. Hanging the sun catchers at different heights creates a layered effect. A collection of them swaying together in the breeze brings both movement and harmony to the space. Placing them near seating areas or garden paths ensures you see them glinting in the sunlight throughout the day. Sun catchers also look beautiful indoors. Placing them near windows allows them to reflect sunlight into the room, adding a warm, inviting glow. The combination of indoor and outdoor sun catchers can create a cohesive look, connecting your indoor and outdoor spaces. Another creative twist is using pressed flowers or leaves between sheets of clear contact paper along with the foil. The natural elements add texture and color, blending the beauty of the garden with the sparkle of the sun catchers. The mix of organic and reflective materials makes each piece unique. Creating sun catchers is not only an enjoyable project, but also a wonderful way to involve family and friends. The process is simple, safe, and allows for complete creativity. Each sun catcher tells a story through its design, reflecting the personality of the creator. Maintaining sun catchers is easy. If they become dusty or dull, a quick wipe with a damp cloth restores their shine. They are durable enough to withstand most weather conditions, though bringing them indoors during strong winds or storms helps them last longer. Sun catchers are more than decorative pieces. They brighten any space, lifting the mood and creating a sense of warmth and magic. Watching them shimmer in the sunlight adds a touch of joy to the everyday, reminding us of the beauty in simple things. That's it, 10 easy DIY garden projects that can transform any outdoor space into a beautiful and relaxing retreat without all the hard work. Each project brings something unique, from the calming sense of a sensory garden to the playful sparkle of sun catchers glinting in the sunlight. These ideas are not just about making a garden look good. They are about creating spaces that feel good to spend time in, places that bring joy, peace, and a little bit of magic into everyday life. Which project are you most excited to try? Do you have a favorite DIY idea that makes your garden feel like home? Share your thoughts in the comments. I would love to hear your stories and tips because they are always inspiring. If you enjoyed these ideas, make sure to like the video and subscribe for more simple and creative ways to turn your garden into a space you truly love. There is so much more to explore together, and I would love for you to be part of it. Thank you for spending this time with me. I hope you found some inspiration to get your hands a little dirty and your heart a little lighter. Keep growing, keep creating, and enjoy every moment in your beautiful garden.